Epossumondas Saves the Day by Coleen Salley. Once upon a time, but maybe not so long ago, Epossumondas and his mama lived in a little cottage back by the sugarcane fields in Laurel Valley on Bayou LaFourche. Auntie lived down the road a piece. It was Epossumondas' birthday and he and mama were getting ready for his party. Epossumondas was squeezing lemons for the lemonade. Mama was making his favorite dessert, strawberry shortcake. Not the kind made with cake, but the kind made with sweet biscuits. She put all the mixings in her big bowl and reached for her sody saleratus. The box was empty, and you know you can't make big, light, fluffy biscuits without sody saleratus. Well, I Swaney, cried Mama. This is what happens when you wait till the last minute. Can I go get the sody for you, please? Epossumondas said. No, sweetie, I need your help with the lemonade, so you keep on squeezing. I'll go myself. Just then, Baby Gator arrived early for the party. Oh, good, Mama cried. Honey, could you scoot over to the store and get me a box of sody saleratus? Tell Mr. Leslie to put it on my bill and come on back here lickety-split. Don't dilly-dally. So Baby Gator skipped along the creek that meanders catawampus through the field singing, sody, sody, sody saleratus. He crossed the creek, jumping on the stepping stones, 1, 2, 3, and then ran into the store and asked for the sody. He thanked Mr. Leslie and skipped out singing, sody, sody, sody saleratus. But when he got back to the creek, the biggest stepping stone moved and a head reared up out of it. It wasn't a stone at all. It was a great, huge, ugly Louisiana snapping turtle. That snapper snarled, Baby Gator, you woke me up. I'm hungry, and I'm going to eat you and your sody saleratus. And he swallowed Baby Gator and his sody in one big gulp. Well, back home, Mama was about to have a hissy fit because Baby Gator was nowhere in sight. I've been squeezing and squeezing, Mama, Epossumondas said. Can I go get the sody for you, please? No, honey, I need you to set up that pin the tail game. I'll go myself. Just then Auntie arrived. Oh, thank goodness, Mama said. Sister, will you go down to the store and see if you can find that pokey Baby Gator with my sody saleratus? Auntie galumped along toward Bayou LaFourche, mumbling, sody, sody, sody saleratus. She crossed the stepping stones, 1, 2, 3, and galumped into the store. Mr. Leslie said, why, that little rascal left a long time ago. He must be dawdling in the creek. Here's another box of sody, just in case. So Auntie galumped back, mumbling, sody, sody, sody saleratus. But when she got to the creek, that great, huge, ugly Louisiana snapping turtle reared up and growled, old Auntie, I just ate a Baby Gator and his sody saleratus. Now I'm going to eat you, too. And he swallowed Auntie and her sody in one big gulp. Back at the house, Mama was sopping mad. Where did they get to? They could have gone to Plum Nellie and back in this much time. The pin the tail is ready, Mama, Epossumondas said. Can I go get the sody for you, please? No sugar pie, I need your help with the balloons. There's hanging to be done. I'll go myself. Mama stomped off, grumbling, sody, sody, sody saleratus. She stomped over the stepping stones, 1, 2, 3, and went into the store. Land's sake, said Mr. Leslie, they wouldn't both be dawdling in the creek. I can't imagine where they are. Here, you'd better take 2 boxes of sody just in case. So Mama stomped back toward the creek, grumbling, sody, sody, sody saleratus. But when she got there, you know what happened, don't you? That great, huge, ugly Louisiana snapping turtle reared up and growled, old Mama, I just ate a Baby Gator and his sody. And old Auntie and her sody. She looked a lot like you, come to think of it. Now I'm going to eat you too. And he swallowed Mama and her sody in one big gulp. Back at home, Epossumondas was wondering what was keeping everyone. He'd been hanging and still no one came home. That little possum was getting as nervous as a long-tailed cat in a room full of rocking chairs. What happened to everyone? Epossumondas said to himself. No Baby Gator, no Auntie, no Mama, no party. I better go find them myself. So Epossumondas skedaddled along down the road, shouting, sody, sody, sody saleratus. He ran across the stepping stones, 1, 2, 3, and skedaddled right into the store. When Mr. Leslie saw him, that man was flabbergasted. Goodness gracious, I don't know where all your folks are. You better take all the sody just in case. So Epossumondas started back shouting, "Sody, sody, sody, Sally, read us." But when he got to the creek, that great, huge, ugly Louisiana snapping turtle reared up and stuck out his scrawny, wrinkled neck. Grrr. "Thumping gizzards," gasped Epossumondas. "I thought you were a stepping stone, but you're a great, huge, ugly Louisiana snapping turtle." "You're right, Possum. I am a great, huge, ugly Louisiana snapping turtle, and I'm hungry. I just ate an old mama and her sody, an old auntie and her sody, and a baby gator and his sody." "Mr. Snapper, you couldn't have eaten all of them. That's just too mean." "Possum, my whole self is just filled up with mean juice, so now I'm going to eat you too." The old turtle snapped at Epossumondas, but just before his jaws clamped down, that little possum hollered, "Don't eat me, it's my birthday and I haven't even had my party yet." He hightailed it up the nearest cypress tree, screaming his head off all the way. That great, huge, ugly Louisiana snapping turtle wasn't going to let Epossumondas get away so fast. He lumbered up to that tree and growled all the louder, opening his humongous jaws wide. Epossumondas hollered, "Mr. Snapper, you better spit out my folks or you'll be sorry." "Huh? What can a puny little critter like you do to me?" And then that old turtle started bumping his head so hard against the cypress tree, Epossumondas thought he might tumble right out. He squeezed his eyes shut and threw the only thing he had, a box of sody Sally Ratus. Gulp! That sody went right down the turtle's throat. Then he threw a second box. Gulp! And another and another. Gulp! Gulp! Now, you may not know this, but when that much sodium mixes with all the mean juice inside a great, huge, ugly Louisiana snapping turtle, something unbelievable happens. That ornery old snapper puffed up like a big, light, fluffy biscuit. Epossumondas held tight to his branch and kept his eyes squeezed shut. The great, huge, ugly Louisiana snapping turtle got bigger and bigger and rounder, then floated right off the ground, higher and higher until... pop! He burst wide open just like a birthday balloon, and out tumbled Mama, Auntie, and Baby Gator, all in perfect shape. "Oh, my sweet little patootie saved us, honey, you're gooder than grits," cried Mama. "And look at this, one box of sody Sally Ratus was safe in my purse. Now we can make some biscuits for our little hero." So everyone marched home singing, "Sody, sody, sody, Sally Ratus." And then they had the best birthday party for the bravest possum ever, Epossumondas.